as well, and then they sprinkle in some local talent within that. Then they have the big fight nights in UFC Apex, but they've done a few of them. And then they have the regular standard UFC fight nights at the Apex. They go in that order. Pretty much just to offer people fights. They need to offer the fighters a particular amount of fights per year. And it feels like some of the cards they make are just for that. They're trying to make up the numbers. They're trying to, provide the ESPN contract that they've, signed. And unfortunately, this card is one of them. The headline is Vincent Luque versus Rafael dos Anjos. Both people who are, top 10 athletes in a division, but they're probably not going to be fighting for the belt anytime soon. And probably, I won't like to say for definite, but I'd almost put my money on both of them not fighting for a belt again. There is a few stars, in this card. There's a few people who stand out. There's a few fights that stand out. But I'm not going to spend too much time on this today because, the fight card doesn't warrant it, in my opinion. It's almost just put together. So, anyways, the first fight of the night is Juliana Miller and Luana Santos in the women's flyweight bout. There's no odds on this. I'm guessing Luana Santos, this is her making her debut for the UFC. Juliana Miller is 4-2. She won the Ultimate Fighter in the same season as Kamaru Usman's brother won. I think it was the last Ultimate Fighter or the time before that. I think she's 1-1 since. I think she recently, her most recent fight, she lost to Dan Hardy's wife, Veronica Hardy, in London. So, Juliana Miller does like to get the takedowns and goes for submissions. She likes a scrap as well. I've seen her fight, she does like a scrap. And I've actually met Juliana Miller in person. I went to Dublin for a Bellator card, and she was there. So yeah, met her, spoke to her, had a photo, this and that and the other, along with who else was there? Johnny Walker. Had a photo with Johnny Walker as well. But yeah, she's really nice. And yeah, I'll pick Juliana Miller to win this. And then second fight of the night is a bantamweight bout, and this is Damone Blackshear versus Jose Johnson. Now I gotta be honest, yeah, you can't even click on this. I don't know much about any of these guys. Yeah, there's no information being put up about these, so I'm not gonna make a pick. I don't really recognize either of these two. There's no odds, there's no information, so we'll just skip past that. And then we go to the women's strawweight bout, and that is Jacqueline Amorim versus Montserrat Conejao. So Jacqueline is a minus 238 favourite. She's 6'1", 5'3", so quite big for the strawweight division. Montserrat Conejao is 5 foot. Okay, so Amorim looks like she's a submission artist. She never won via decision. That's pretty cool. Okay. Okay, so she's not much of a striker whatsoever. She doesn't throw any. so the stats doesn't actually back her to be such a big favourite, which makes no sense. I'm guessing she hasn't really been in the UFC long enough, or this might be her first fight in the UFC. She might have fought under like UFC owned sub-brands before. Yeah, I'll go for Jacqueline Amorim via submission. I got some iced coffee here. Okay, then we move on to a heavyweight bout between Josh Parisian versus Martin Buday. So Martin Buday is a favourite. I've heard of Josh Parisian before, but Martin Buday is 12-1. Both of these fighters are 6-4. They have similar reach. Parisian has a 2-inch advantage in that department, and both pretty much going to come on the limit of 265. It looks like neither guy goes to decision that much. Average fight time is very similar. So look at how they. So we have a win percentage. Yeah, it's KO as heavyweight should be. Heavyweight's very rarely a sub or decision. So the land to absorb per minute is actually almost identical for the both guys. They both land quite a bit. Martin Buday on average throws and lands one significant strike per minute more, but he also averages one absorbed significant strike per minute too. Let's have a look at the grappling. Okay, so he has 100% takedown defense, and Josh Parisian does like to go for some takedowns now and again. But like I said, this is probably going to be a stand and bang fight. Parisian probably, with his stats as well, he's 50-6. So for me, I guess it looks like he gets knockouts or gets knocked out. I don't know how he's lost in the past, but that's how it looks. Martin Buday just looks like he could get, he must have lasted 50 minutes before to have 27% decision. He must have done it twice, has he? Yeah, he must have been twice, or 2 of his 12 wins must have gone to a decision. And yeah. Okay, I'm going to say Martin Buday to win. Then we have Francis Marshall versus Isaac Dulgarian. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I've not heard of either of these guys either. So, Francis Marshall is 7-1, Isaac Dulgarian is 5-0. So both, quite young into their careers. Francis Marshall looks like more of a submission artist, whereas Isaac Dulgarian doesn't like to go to decision whatsoever. Was the 5-0, so he's 3-2 with KO and submission. Significant strikes, we've only gone for Francis Marshall, so the grappling. Yeah. So you can see Francis Marshall likes to use and utilise his grappling in fights. Okay, I'm really not sure about these because I've not heard of any of these guys in the featherweight before. We don't even have much information. Isaac Dulgarian, it does seem like he likes to get a finish, and it's pretty exciting. Francis Marshall's never had a TK. Let's just go for Isaac Dulgarian. And then we move on to a lightweight bout. Terrence McKinney versus Mike Breeden. Okay. Terrence McKinney is he's one of my favourite fighters in the UFC. He's a wild man. He either gets finished or gets a finish. He's very, very good, very technical, got crisp fighting style in terms of the striking, but can be a little bit reckless in between. He's got great wrestling, does get caught in submissions quite a bit though. Mike Braden's 10 and 5. Both of these guys are 5'10". Terrence McKinney does have a 3.5 inch reach advantage, so maybe he can utilise that. Terrence McKinney's never been to decision when he's won. Never. Mike Braden likes to get a KO. A significant strike. So yeah, Mike Braden does absorb more than he lands, but he does look like the ones he does land are big, big shots. Grappling though, Terrence McKinney got that down, I think. Better takedown defense, throws at more submission averages. He has a better takedown accuracy and goes for more takedowns per 15 minutes. He does have a better land to absorb ratio as well. I'm going to go Terrence McKinney, he's my guy. No odds on this. But yeah, Terrence McKinney I'll go for. And then we got a bantamweight bout between JP Buys and Marcus McKee. Marcus McKee is 7-1. JP Buys 9-5. Bantamweight. I was gonna say I thought JP Buys was a 125 pounder. He must be coming on short notice. Marcus McKee, he's a big favourite, minus a 355. He's a bigger guy as well. Yeah, he does have a good. He's never been to decision when he's fought. JB Buys doesn't like to go to decision much either, mind. Yeah, significant strikes there though. Lands less than 2 per minute, absorbs 3 per minute. Whereas Marcus McKee lands 3.5 per minute and absorb only 1.8. Grappling, he has 100% takedown defense. So we'll have a look and see if JP Buys can, infiltrate that. I'm going to go for Marcus McKee. When someone's that big of a favourite, and it's not because the guy is a star or like a rising star or anything like that. It's probably because he should be the winner. So let's go for Marcus McKee on that. And that is the prelims done. And then we move on to the main card. And the first fight kicking off the main card is Josh Fremd. And he's facing Jamie Pickett in a middleweight bout. Jamie Pickett, he's actually a real good guy. He's just fought killers since he's been in the UFC. He is a bit of a veteran in the UFC as well. But Josh Fremd is a big favourite. He's 10 and 4, whereas Jamie Pickett is 13 and 9. They're both tall guys, 6'4" and 6'2". Jamie Pickett does have, or is that a 6-inch reach advantage? Okay, so Josh Fremd doesn't like to go to a decision much. He's equally as good by looks on, TK or someone, and has been someone. Jimmy Pickett has never had a sub. He likes to go for the power shots, and if not, grind out a decision victory. So, significant strikes, fairly similar in the landed. However, Jimmy Pickett does absorb more per minute than Josh Fremd do. The grappling aspect. Oh yeah, so Josh Fremd's takedown accuracy is 75%, which is very good. But Jamie Pickett's takedown defense is 66, so that might play a Okay, so 6-2 and 6-3, both very similar in their record. And Luque looks like he's coming down from the light heavyweight and fighting at middleweight. He does have a little bit of a reach advantage, but an inch when it comes to that is not that significant at all. AJ Dobson has got 1 or 2 finishes via submission, whereas Luque never's got a submission. He obviously relies on his power a lot of the time, but both guys tend to get their fight done within the distance. Significant strikes, yeah. Luque lands 6 significant strikes per minute and absorbs 4. AJ Dobson lands 4 and absorbs 6. Grappling wise though, AJ Dobson looks like he has that. He has an 80% takedown accuracy. But don't really go for any submissions. Yeah, what's the favourite? Okay, yeah, I was gonna lean to Davon. Yeah, I think Luque can get this done, probably via TKO or KO. Okay, and then we move on to a women's strawweight bout, which is Polyana Viana versus Yasmin Lucindo. Polyana Viana is 13-5, whereas Yasmin Lucindo is 14-5. So again, fairly similar records again, both from Brazil. Polyana has a 2-inch reach advantage, and also has a 2-inch height advantage, and an inch reach advantage. Let's arc the wind. So yeah, Polyana Viana has never been to decision. Yasmin doesn't like to go to decision either that much. Yasmin's actually the favourite here, but I'm already leaning more towards Polyana. Significant strikes. Yeah, she looks like a bit more crisp on the feet, lands more than she absorbs, whereas Yasmin likes to go tit for tat. Look at the grappling. So Yasmin does like to go for a bit more grappling style. Her accuracy is 57%, so she attempts about 4 takedowns per fight. And, well, not a bit more than 4 takedowns per fight, but achieves 2 of them. Polyana Viana takedown defense is 50%, but it looks like when she is down, she does like to go for submissions. She attempts 2.41 submission averages per 50 minutes too. So, yeah, Yasmin Lucindo is the favourite here, but my money is going to be on Polyana Viana. That's my pick. Okay, so like I said, this card isn't great. There's a lot of people we don't know. A lot of people that hasn't really been promoted or got a highlight reel like KO or submission or anything like that. But it has sprinkled in like a Terrence McKinney. And we've also got this bout is one of the best fights that you can do, because it's 13th ranked versus 14th ranked light heavyweight bout. Khalil Rountree Jr. versus Chris Daukaus. I thought Chris Daukaus was heavyweight, so he might be 14th ranked heavyweight. But yeah, again, both people. The one thing I would say with this is that these fights, they're very similar. Everyone's pretty much a similar record. They're fighting people they should be fighting. That's at their level at the moment. So I do like that, and I've said in previous videos, I think UFC does really well with stuff like that. Khalil Rountree Jr. is 2 inches shorter than Chris Daukaus. However, he has got a bit more of a reach. So look at the win percentages. Yeah, both of them like to go for the finish. One of these guys are getting knocked out. You can just say Chris Daukaus' average fight time is 3 minutes 15 seconds. His average knockdown per 15 minutes is nearly 4 knockdowns per 15 minutes, and Khalil Rountree Jr. is 1.59. guys out at heavyweight. Both absorb pretty much the same, but Daukaus is a bit more of a volume fighter. Khalil Rountree does like to get that one punch. No, they don't go for takedowns, but they do like takedown defense. Daukaus got 100% takedown defense. I wonder if he's fought Curtis Blades before. But yeah, I'm actually pretty sure that Curtis Blades knocked him out. But yeah, okay. I don't know. There's no odds on it. Yeah, this is really hard. I like Khalil Rountree. He's big, he's strong, he's dense. Daukaus is extremely experienced, but also he looked really good at heavyweight, and he's now coming down to light heavyweight. So it'd be interesting to see how he does. My initial thoughts is, the only thing with Daukaus is it does seem like he hasn't got that much of a chin, and I know like at heavyweight anyone can knock anyone out because they're so big. But like Daukaus, I've seen fall from the things that you don't typically see heavyweights fall from. So I don't know if his chin has been rocked or something. So my initial thoughts are Khalil Rountree Jr. But he is how much bigger is he? Yeah, he's not even that much bigger. He looks bigger on the photo. Daukaus looks way bigger than Khalil. I don't know. Like I said, my first thoughts were all, when I first seen these two were fighting, Khalil Rountree Jr. was my, oh okay, But yeah. So my pick, Khalil Rountree. Okay, and then the co-main event of the evening is Cub Swanson versus Hakeem Dawodu in the featherweight division. We got a experienced veteran in Cub Swanson with a 28-13 record, and a young up-and-comer in Hakeem Dawodu, which is a 13-3 record. Both 5'8". Dawodu has a 3.5-inch reach advantage. So they win percentages. Okay. So Dawodu has never had a submission, so he either goes for the KO or grinds out a decision win. Very similar to Cub Swanson, but he has got a win or two via submission. Significant strikes. Okay, yeah. So Dawodu likes to throw and land a few significant strikes per minute, and he absorbs less than Cub as well. So he might be the cleaner striker, whereas Cub Swanson is very much a phone booth boxer, and plays the game that way. Who can be the tougher guy? Cub Swanson also has, because he's so experienced, he has some wrestling and grappling background, which Hakeem Dawodu doesn't really have. I don't know. This is one of those that Cub Swanson is almost like being the gatekeeper, for someone to fight the top 15. Like, once you beat Cub Swanson, they'll throw you in there against the 15th ranked guy. Like, he's like the last boss before you start fighting the ranked fighters. So it's can Cub Swanson defend that kind of throne then, or will Hakeem Dawodu make light work of the old guy, and a new prospect will rise up and start fighting in the rankings? I think we gotta go for the young guy. Cub Swanson, he's a Hall of Famer. Had one of my favourite fights. I don't like him for it because he beat Du Ho Choi, which I loved. Me and my brother absolutely loved Du Ho Choi, and he's never been the same since. But yeah, Hakeem Dawodu, I think could get the win here. And then we go to the main event of the evening, which is Vincent Luque versus Rafael dos Anjos. Dos Anjos, a former UFC welterweight champion, was was scheduled. He wasn't a welterweight champion. He was a lightweight champion. My apologies. He moved up to welterweight, but he was scheduled to fight Conor McGregor. Had to pull out, and then Eddie Alvarez stepped in. Vincent Luque. Again, this is another good fight. It's number 10 versus number 9. It's like, who's gonna be? You can imagine that whoever loses this fight is probably gonna be fighting someone below them to, keep that top 10 rankings next to the name. The person who wins is probably gonna be looking up and fighting someone, 5 to 9, and trying to, climb back up to title contention. As much as I did say I don't think anyone will fight for a title again, I just think the welterweight division is so good. Whoever wins, they will fight someone, 5 to 10, like the 4, 5, 6, 7 range, and they probably will lose, because they've never quite managed to get to that. But yeah, so look, Vincent, both of these guys are good though. Let's not get that mistaken whatsoever. Vincent Luque is 21 and 9 and 1. Dos Anjos is 32 and 14. Again, both very experienced. It says Vincent Luque is United States. I think he is actually Brazilian though. Dos Anjos is Brazilian. Luque, a bigger guy, has also a 5.5 inch reach advantage. Luque as well can hit. He has starched people. 52% of his win is come via KO, and he throws bombs. Dos Anjos, a bit more boring. He does like to go for subs now and again. Has had, 1 or 2 KO victories. But he outclasses people for 15 minutes and, moves on to the next fight. Vicente Luque is much more of a headhunter. He either wants to, tap you out, choke you out, or knock you out. He throws and lands more per minute than Dos Anjos. He also absorbs more per minute. Luque is definitely the more exciting fighter. The grappling things as well, they're both very similar. Takedown defense is pretty good for Luque. Dos Anjos goes for a takedown more often. I like exciting fights, and I like exciting fighters. And as much as Rafael Dos Anjos, an ex-champion, he's really well. He's very crisp. He's good at the basics. Let's just say that. I like the chaos that Vincente Luque brings. The headhunting, So yeah, we're gonna go with Vicente Luque to win this fight. Number 10 ranked, and then he can look to progress further that up the welterweight division. And that's it. That's my picks. It's probably a shorter one than usual for this kind of video, but yeah, it's not the best fight night we've had. Not only is it not the best UFC card, it's not even the best UFC fight night in the Apex card. So yeah, that's it. That's what we have to deal with sometimes. The following week we have a banger. We have Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley fighting. So I'm very excited for that, and that will be a longer video, a more in-depth video, and a banger, because I'm excited for that. Because I love both guys for different reasons. And until then, I want to wish you all a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, but most importantly,